I'm watching the Chevra learn together, the different pairings, the different Chavrusa. It's stunning. And I asked myself, I just broke it up to say a shir, so knock it off. So don't break it up. I wish I didn't break it up. Make it taste. So you're a big talker, you're a fraud. Man le'dia le'bar le'cha. You knock it off, you're a liar. You just did say shah. At night, you see the night say the chaburas. Like so if you don't feel to say shah, so don't say shah. Make it tasty. In yeshiva, we have times the chevras like schmoozing together. I want to start Kabbalah Shabbos. Shh. So maybe don't. So maybe go another half. And maybe now, Kayla, you're such a big talker. You want to hear your words. So I want to tell you the right to say a shir, but it's mechayev something. I want to say like this. I've told the Chevra this story. Shlomo Hafman was a big Bal Musar, a very special yid, and he decided his Rebbe was very, very old. His Rebbe, at the end, was nifter that year. He was Mishayir that he doesn't have so many opportunities left in his life to be with his Rebbe for Yom Kippur. So he decides that he's going to his Rebbe for Yom Kippur. Rabbi Isaac Sherry is going to go to his Rebbe for Yom Kippur. And he traveled, he asked his wife for shus, his wife gave him a shus. It turned out to be his Rebbe's last Yom Kippur of his life. And he went Erev Yom Kippur, he shows up early after Shachris. He said, Rebbe, I'm here, I want to be by your side Yom Kippur. Says Rebbe's instant reaction, did you ask your wife for shus? And he smiles, he knew his Rebbe. And he smiled, and he said, of course I asked my wife for shus. Like, Rebbe, I've learned by you long enough, I asked my wife for shus. He said, but had you asked? He said, if you told him the big milus of being by Rebbe for Shabbos, he said, do you give me permission, Etano? So that's not called asking. You basically guilted her, forced her. You have to tell her why you shouldn't come. The big svaras, you leave your wife, you're out of your mind, Yom Kippur, you're not checking up on your wife during davening. What are you talking? You're not giving her a little time to go to shul and daven? Stop. What do you mean? He said you can't tell your wife the milus. Did you tell your wife the milus of you not going and you going and discussed an answer? Or did you just tell her why you should go and ask her if she gives rishus? He said, I'll be honest, I said reasons to go and ask rishus. He said, then get home. And he made him on Erev Yom Kippur travel an hour back home. And then he discussed with his wife and he came back for Yom Kippur. So I ask you, why did Isaac Sher let him come back for Yom Kippur? You know why? Because the Yom Kippur, the Rav Isaac Sher makes a guy a lot closer to his wife. The reason Rav Isaac Sher because a Rebbe like that makes him a lot closer to his wife. So I only have a right to say a shir right now if it causes more of what happened before the shir. The Chevra schmoozing, I can only say, let's not have Kabbalah Shabbos, because you know why we're so tight? Because we have such a Kabbalah Shabbos. Then, okay, Rabbi said, let's do that which causes this. So then, but then you have to make sure it's true that this causes, right? Farkas Maskim, then you can say, the audacity to say, Shahad the Chevra schmoozing, if what you're doing causes better and more schmoozing. Says the Chevra's downstairs. I want to come up to the Chevra. We're going to talk ideas of Avodas Hashem. Guys are speaking. Two Yidden are enjoying each other. It's not pasha to break it up. It's a big zach. The Gra says that you're only allowed to have an Erev Tchum L'Tzarech Mitzvah. And the Gra says that two friends talking to each other is a Tzarech Mitzvah. Not being megazim, not a joke. The Gra says two friends talking. That's called the Tzarech Mitzvah. You're allowed to put Erev Tchum L'Halacha. Two friends speaking to each other. It's not a simple matter. Say, knock it off. Two Yidden are encouraging each other. It's not a pasha thing. If what you're bringing them to will cause better of that and more of that, I hear it. So he went to Rav Isaac Sher. Trust me, his wife pushed him to any Rebbe who was that demanding on how he talks to his wife. The wife wants him there, and being there brings more to his wife. He was closer to his wife being by Rav Isaac Sher maybe than being home. But say then, it certainly brought more care and more time together, so then he can go. Every morning, Every morning we say a bracha sha'asa li kol tzarki. We make a bracha. Baruch atah Hashem l'keinu melech haolam sha'asa li kol tzarki. That Hashem provides, sha'asa kol tzarki, Hashem provides all of my needs. And the word li, as we've discussed before, is strikingly extra. Should say sha'asa kol tzarki, Hashem provides, creates, kol tzarki, all my needs. You don't say provides for me all my needs. He provides my needs. He doesn't provide my needs to you. Provides my needs is the mashmaisis to me. The word li is strikingly extra. Hashem's asa kol tzarki, provides all my needs. That alone expresses who he provides them to. You don't have to say to me. The li is very, very extra. And we've discussed that the pshat in li, you can go to a dining room and there's a lot of food, and wow, this is great, there's a lot of food, and you take, but it wasn't made for you. It wasn't made for you. And the li says, Sha'asa li kol tzarki, says that Hashem had me in mind. It was made for me. That I could get a lot from Hashem. It's wonderful. Like, you pasha like steel hanaz. That's a good basketball game. In this world Hashem made, I found things that fell, collaterals, like a punk that was around. Not how it is. Sha'asa li kol tzarki, li lishmi. Hashem's thinking about me. The word intention. There was thought about me. He's thinking about me. Intention. Sha'asa li kol tzarki. Everybody knows you go somewhere, you come back with a gift for your wife. What you brought is wonderful, but what it says is li, you're on my mind, intention. It says I'm thinking about you. It says when I was somewhere, I saw a certain donut, I even looked for a certain donut that I knew you would like, you're on my mind. The word intention, everybody understands. Sha'asa kol tzarki and sha'asa li kol tzarki is a different game. It's a different experience. I get my needs provided. Okay, I got what I need. Sha'asa li kol tzarki, you were thinking about me. Intention, there was thought, and everybody understands that changes the game. Intention, focus, there was thought. I was in this equation. There was me here. The intention changes the game. Because li, it was done, the giver didn't just give and punked, I found some stuff. They play those games. What's that game called? They throw tons of lollipops, like a scavenger hunt. You go search and you pick up lollipops and you collect them. So that there was lollipops dropped and you found it. Everybody understands the difference in that, and to the Candyman hands you a lollipop. Lee, I was thought about here. And what we're thanking Hashem is Sha'asa li kol tzarki. I want to talk about in our avodah, adding the li in. It's a topic very relevant to Erev Tisha B'Av. Today's headed to Tisha B'Av. Getting back intention. I want to give a mashal. I want to give the following scenario of getting the li in our own avodah. Putting the back, thinking about God, intention, adding intention to our life. They give the following simple mashal. A person wants to make money. He's driven. We all have different drives, and the drive to make money says we also have a soul that wants to take care of people. We have a lot of parts to ourselves. There's lishma in us all. There's a soul that all the soul wants is to connect to Hashem, is to be godly, is to be itself, is to supply and take care, to be like Hashem, thus close to Hashem. That's the soul's desire, the soul desire. A guy in the want to make money opens a rehab. No problem, he wants to make money. That is a good shrashim also. The guy wants to make money and he opens a rehab. Rehabs are a smart business. America's drowning in drugs. So the guy says, let me open a rehab. Here is the guy who adds li to his life. A guy can run rehabs and it's very profitable because rehabs are in. And it's very profitable to run rehab. Very smart business. A country's drowning in addiction. So anything that helps heal, that's how business minds work. You find the biggest area of need and you can become rich making riyab. It's like any intelligent person. You find the way to do it, you're in, you get very rich. If the guy actually would put serious focus, you would add the li in your avodah in healing people. I'm not getting involved in what brought him, what caught his attention is making money. But we all have a soul that wants to give, that wants to provide. I'm not talking what drew him there, Metchila. I'm not talking about what started his process. That was an act of God. God put in him that he wants to make money, and that shirish has good shrushim. The one to make money has good roots also. But he wants to make money, fine. That's what brought him in. He's not a pretend. I did this to make money. But there's a li aspect to his avodah. There's intention. There's something he could dig into very deeply. His soul wants to provide. His journey that Hashem led him on in the thought to make money brought him here for riyabs. Do you know that he can actually think about the patients? If he added a li to his avodah, I'm not talking, and this is something others won't know. Everybody would claim, you would advertise, we have good. I'm talking about that he would get busy in his life. And it's true that the path to here was because he wanted to make money. But this is good, so that's how Hashem brought him here. That was his journey. But now he owns a riyab. Do you know he could spend time thinking about the patient and how to do better for the patient? And he could that you add the li element. And by the way, that's all his soul cares about. His soul doesn't care about them. There's a big part of him that's interested most in providing and giving. You could be ma'ira, and it changes everything when you add intention. Galus is the hiddenness of Hashem and the hiddenness of the soul that craves Hashem. That's the Hester of Galus. And there's a tremendous geula when we get in touch with the place that is godly and wants God. There's geula in intention, in functioning with intention, getting back to intention, what I'm doing, forget even why I got to here. I feel like Shlomo Felton spoke last night. I felt like to continue. He spoke about the word intention. And to add that, I'm not talking about why a guy decided. It could be all different types of thoughts that brought him there. But I'm talking about what's happening now. There's a person who's reliant, and you could add intention and thoughts, and a focus on that could be given birth, adding the li to our pu'ulos, the li lishmi, with intention and focus that can become part of our avodas Hashem. I've said over before, Rav Elya Lapian came to Kfar Chasedim. They were in the middle of Seder. Rav Elya Lapian wasn't in the habit of interrupting Seder. In Klap, in the middle of Seder, people are learning Hashem's Torah. Betel Torah, the rabbim, is very serious. It wasn't like in the habit, Rav Elya Lapian, of coming to Seder. There were no announcements during. And surprisingly, one day, Rav Elya Lapian, the great tzaddik, who knew what Chashivas HaTorah, Talmud Torah Keneged Kulam, and Betel Torah Keneged Kulam. And yet he came into the Beis Medrash and felt the need to quiet the Chevra and described two people who were working on the road. And there were two people that he had passed on the way to Kfar Chasidim, and they were both working on building a road. And he described, he engaged both these fellas, these strong men, who were building a road, and he engaged them in conversation. And he described one of them, he asked what they're doing, what they're involved in, what they're busy with. One guy described, I want money and I make money. That was what he was able to say. And another guy described how roads help. The guy described Velapian, carriages being wheeled over the road, and like a person, how frustrating. Have you ever wheeling a kid? Picture Chaim like wheeling a son. If you ever wheel on a place that you can't wheel, it's so frustrating. You want to hold the kid, hold the carriage. You're like pushing it in ways it can't be pushed. It doesn't go. It's just so frustrating to push a carriage in a place that it can't be pushed. During COVID, we did a lot of hikes, our family. And Yisrael was my walking partner. we had different people come along pushing a stroller and some Baruch Hashem Yisrael walk, someone's on my back. But the visual of on a hike pushing a stroller, I've been there, done that in places that a stroller doesn't work. There's like bumps in the way and you can't push it. It doesn't go. So you're like lifting it. You're chatzi, you get very strong wrist. You're chatzi like carrying the stroller with the kid. The stroller, which was a cool hack to be able to push your kid easy. It's a chap. In a place where a stroller doesn't work, that which was meant to make it easier to push your kid, now you're not only carrying your kid, you're carrying the kid in the stroller. There's a mushal, there's a lot there that the thing which was designed to make it easy becomes like now you're carrying the kid in the stroller. It's like the spitz of frustration. A whole invention to go gleich and easy became a vehicle to now like make it harder. It would have been much easier holding my kid. And the guy like described to Rav Eli Lapian the frustrating mother pushing a stroller. He said, I'm flattening the road. She now pushes the stroller gleich, easily. Rav Eli Lapian lost his mind. He wasn't stupid. He wasn't saying that the guy started out, the reason he fixes roads, I don't know what. We all have a lot of motivations and thoughts. Our mind could be all different reasons. It could be his wife kicked him out of the house. It could be he needed to support his family. I don't know why he ended up there. But there's a component that you could actually think it's not why you ended up there, it's what you're doing. What he's doing very really is making a road that ladies could, and he could like tap in with there can be intention to his actions. And it doesn't pretend. And by the way, your soul is just thankful that the soul now is engaged in the process of giving. The soul's not like, the body always carries the soul places. Our body carries our soul means, pirish. Be deeper yet. Our body carries our soul means I go somewhere because I want to make money. The body's carrying. The body wants to make money. But the soul doesn't really care why it's there. Mitar shaloi lishma ba lishma means deeper. Within the soul just says, I'm happy the body carried me here. Good, you needed to make money. You love money. You have a chemda. I hear. We could talk about that and figure that out. Make sure it doesn't make us make bad decisions. But today I'm here. What am I doing? I'm making roads. You could actually like tap in, but you could think about it. Could add intention, and you do the job differently. You plug into a very pneumistic place of a guy who's flattening roads. It's incredible. I spoke about Binyamin here doing ATV rides. I'm not getting what he's practically doing. I'm talking what's happening. Is a man is being misameach, people after people after people. You could tap into that. You'll do it differently with adding intention. It changes the li. Everybody understood that when the li's there, it's a different world. If we put the li back in, that's geula. The li lishmi, is geula. We reveal that which is hidden, that which is the deepest truth of the world, Hashem. Our souls, which only crave the service of Hashem, when we add intention and purpose and thought, a guy goes and he'll do it different. A guy goes to take people 18. What a schos, what incredible schos. Group after group. By the way, there'll be more chiyus to what you're doing. There'll be much more energy and passion. I look at Yaakov Bauman just took on that he's working in kosher world. You know how much chiyus could be there? You know how much energy you're like feeding a community? I was talking to Binyamin Brummer, his father owns a restaurant. You know how much chiyus? You know a person could have like spunk and energy. You're making a place people can meet. You're feeding people. You're taking care. You're providing. And you could actually like tap in. A guy could be on fire with that. And by the way, he'll even spend money. He'll make a little less because he wants to make the experience. He's like so into it. It's not words. It will become like a guy can run rehabs. And he went in there. He wants to be a rich fellow. You know how much chiyus could lie there that you like make sure to make good rehabs? You start getting into it, you do a little studying, find out what patients need, and you like spend extra money, extra time. I'm not talking about what brought you there. I'm not analyzing who's more lishma. We all lishma. Lishma means you have a soul. How much you tap into your soul, I don't know. Everybody's lishma, and we all have tremendous, when people call somebody a faker, he's not tapped into his soul. Are you fully tapped into yours? We're as fake as him. And by the way, good, so we all have, I tolerate fakers because I tolerate the fakeness in me. So I tolerate him, I tolerate the fakes. And all this talk about being real here, chill out guys, stop being so real. Just do real. We do a lot. The guy lies in bed till he's real. Do and unleash. Build roads and make rehabs. And knock it off with this real stuff. But within that, tap into that which is inside of you. Tap into that which is inside of you. So the guy's making rehabs. The guy's doing, it's so cool. The Pinyama is tripping. I watch him. It's like, he has a chiyus, has an energy there. He tapped in. You can think about it. It's like it doesn't get old when you think like that. My father, Avi Meiri, had a raft, and he loved doing the rapids. My father likes rafting. He's an adventurer. I don't get why my father bought a raft. Did he buy it for others? Not ask him. I have no idea. But he he fell in love with giving people rafting rides. Many a family, all different types of mishpachas. He fell in love, and there was such a chiyus to taking people. We owned a raft. My father was an expert. There was a place called the Lac of Wax, and he discovered, and it's lebedik and crazy rafting. People have found it. Then he found the Esopus. He likes adventure. But he fell in love, and there was so much intention, those rafting trips. He was providing people and giving people and entertaining people and causing a simcha. There's so much chiyus there. But you have to tap into that. You could tap in with a little kavana. It's adding the li element. That's geula mamish. When we speak about churban, it's people in touch with their souls. The hainu in touch with Hashem. And you push Hashem's everywhere, the whole world. You could find it everywhere. Galus is a guy who runs rehabs, and he's not busy on fire, providing patients. That's Galus. That's exact. The Li was removed as Helam, as Hester. That's Galus. Shrinta begalus. That's Mamish Galus. He's not in touch with his soul. Like Epis, if he got in touch, he'd be a fire. He go to work. Galus is a guy runs a food store and is not busy giving food to people. That's Galus. There's a world that Hashem is right. A food store is cool, godliness. He's feeding people. A food store is somebody in Muncie. I had a funny story with one of my sons. Somebody had knocked a famous food establishment. And that is a whole story. The bottom line is we met the guy in the food establishment. It was quite interesting. But a food establishment, you can knock my sarais and food establishment, you're just seeing Hashem. People feeding people. It's mamish. That's what Hashem is. He's masbiah l'chol chayratz, and Hashem's sad. You're seeing godliness. The question is not nice why you opened it up and how you got that. The neshama doesn't care what brought you here. The body, that's how it works. The body carries the soul. The souls. I never met souls serving at restaurants. I just met people. A guy's a waiter. A guy describes that it's Yisrael. He wants to be a waiter for Shabbat. I'm not talking about why he does it. He's serving people food. It's wild. It's holy. Reb Shayev Kastir, you mamish Reb Shayela. Just get connected to what you're doing. Be present to what you're doing. It will change how you do it, of course. There'll be a chiyus and a cheshek. It's interesting. Yesterday, I was very, very happy. The chesed al gabi chesed. Rav Aryeh gave us yesterday a beautiful afternoon, a carnival. It was fun. The attitude of the chesed. We're together. We could do anything and have fun. It was a blast. That long slide, fly up. Such a mechaya. The way the guys enjoy each other and have fun. The mechaya. Cheering for one another. It was just geschmack. And this year, the company running, it was a from company. This year I noticed a Frum company. So we had great time. A Frum company got money, and they were beautiful Yidden, Tayyib Yidden. Like we're blowing up the machines. There's so much chiyus. There could be so much chiyus to that if you add the lishmi. If a guy's grumbly and forgets like that, doesn't attack. You could attack. You're Abshayev Gestir. You're godly. It's a big stuff. You're blowing up a thing. I'm not talking about what made you choose to take you want the money, fine. But what are you doing presently? You're blowing up machines so people could slide down, have a blast, so people can connect, so people could smile for an afternoon. If you tap into the Li, if you tap in there, if there's intention, and you actually tap into intention, there'll be a chiyus to what we do. There'll be an energy and a fire and a passion of a human being who's like doing what he's born to do. We all have our ways of providing. And where we're brought, if one person started a facility for a nursing home, so his thing is providing for elders. That's where his soul's going to get a chiyus. And another guy blows up slides, so that's where, so the soul's on fire. You're blowing up slides for people. The soul's like on fire. Tap in there. Gullus is when you're completely unaware. That's exactly gullus. Like it's still there, and the soul like faintly is. There's a soul like the soul like's alive because you're blowing up tubes, and the world contains godliness. But you're so disconnected. Your body and soul like has no relationship. You're out of touch with self and out of touch with God. Hainu hach. In the world, like you could watch and see godliness, like it's around. It's not like a stretch, a chap. The guy blowing up, you're just seeing people providing for people who are providing for people who are connecting. You're seeing like soul work. You're seeing God. The teretz is like we're just not in touch with what's happening. We're not. I want to say like this: the Gemara Ksubis. There's a pshat. This pshat I want to share with Yaakov, Menach, Moshe, and Hudi. I'm happy they're here. I want to share it. It's been like growing on me. An idea in my life. I go to many weddings, so journeys are definitely something I think about because I travel a lot. And one of the main destinations are weddings. And at weddings, the Rashi in Ksubis, that the first of the Sheva brachas is Shakol bar l'chvoidei. What's that kol bar l'chvoidei? But I want you to hear this, Chevra. Shakol bar l'chvoidei is everything's kvoid shemayim. What's moving the mivarech to say everything's kvoid shemayim? Is he sees people at a wedding. The wedding is beautiful. Another person will give like a shmooze. What's we do? People are spending so much. Please. You're so blinded by negativity. Yitzhahara mamish. They're spending a lot. Beautiful, beautiful. You're supposed to spend a lot. It's a shock to it's a takana de rabbanan to spend a lot for chasnas. Yes, a lot is spent. It's very, very important what's going on tonight. Yes, yeah. They really should all get married in shuls. No, they shouldn't. Should get beautiful halls with beautiful caters, with beautiful bands. There's a chasna going on. In a world, did you notice that goyim aren't getting married? Our chasna getting fancier because we're protesting something. That marriage is important. We need a little bit fancier. The problem is we have our message right. Marriages are important. So you go to a chasna, and the first bracha is not on Bal Tashcha, is nothing, I promise. The first bracha is on Kiddush Shamayim, Shakol bar l'chvoidei. And the Kiddush Shamayim is you see a photographer taking pictures. Wow, what a Kiddush Shamayim. A guy is assisting the chasna and kala. You see musicians who came to sing Kiddush Shamayim. Kol bar l'chvoidei, Kiddush Shamayim. You see people travel distance to be misameach a chassan, to make space. People are tapping into the neshama. You say akol bar l'chvoidei. What a kiddush shemayim. Everything's kvoid shemayim. You just see. Now it's interesting. You ignored the poor chassan and kala. Like the first bracha, we're not up to you yet. It's like a little ironic to me. It strikes me that the first bracha, like it's always dangerous. When you learn a sugya, what's the main point? Sometimes like a guy like focuses like a totally side point. There's a place for that. Like Manny said, what draws you in the sugya. So if you're drawn by a side, Anybody who's learned, you have that. Someone's a chavrusa. He's like focused something. It's not like we're learning Kiddush Makom Sud, and he saw something derech agav that reminded him of something, and he's off and running there. It happens sometimes. There's a time and a place for that. Man, if that's what drew you, so that drew you, so go there, run. But there is like a heart and soul of a sugya, the ikar of the sugya, the shirish of the sugya. There is such a thing. So there's a sugya. Every sugya has a focus. I mean, gosh, we came tonight for a chasna and kala, building a home, constructing a bayis. But we seemingly ignore the chasna and kala, and the first thought is on the gathering. We turn away. I don't know if it needs a teretz. But I say in construction, I told the Chaver this, that Galus is in the whole construct of Eretz Yisrael, a big thing is built. And it's not sad that a big thing's built. That's part of Geula. In the desert, we have us and Hashem and us, just the thing itself, what we call the white mun. The Lubavitcher Rebbe's white mun. The white representing no colors, no frills, no us and Hashem and us. The spiritual food. It hasn't turned into anything. We get to Eretz Yisrael, we have physical food, we have colors. We have a whole society, and that's gorgeous. It all revolves around a nekuda, a theme, a nekuda, a li, and then built as a whole world. There's nothing wrong. There's everything beautiful about that. It's what you dream of. It's what you dream of. I look around, I pinch myself, Sulam. What's built here on our friendships, like this whole world. There are hikes and ball games and this and that. And like, Gav's like clearing. I love it. It's like delightful. The hike, volleyball, the hike. It's so delightful that we have to like figure out that, and there's a volleyball hike and a varsity again. Like, oh, where should I go? What should I watch? What should I do? Delightful, a built world, delightful, and that's a beautiful dream. And the Nukud has to say what galus can happen is you could lose the li. You could lose the relationships, the connections, the conversation that today you could. It doesn't have to happen, and we dream for Geula. But you could just end up playing volleyball and forget the other guy and the relationship and the connection, the conversations. In the whole thing, you could forget the nekuda that's driving, the engine, the power, the neshama of the whole thing. You could lose sight of the neshama in the built-up thing. And it makes me wonder that you have a chasna as a moment of construction, the start of a new bayis being built, and Eureka, we tell the chasna and kala that shakol bar l'chvayday, that when you see a lot of noise and action and drama, but don't forget the nekuda, don't forget a house, a world's about to be built. And there are going to be bills, and there's going to be entertainment and family trips and all different. A whole world's going to be constructed. But the chasna and kala should always remember the central nekudas, their love of each other, the soul, the essence of the thing, relationship, the one to make a place, a bayis neman b'Yisrael, a place for Hashem. The very brach of a bayis neman is loyal, remembering its foundations, remembering the love that these two people had, these two souls, the attachment of souls. And in all the things that are built around and the noise, that's delightful, that's such a beautiful thing when so much is built, and chiyus causes more chiyus and brings so much, and it gives chiyus to so much. It makes, what we have makes a slide eternal. We bring chiyus. What we have makes a volleyball game eternally important. What it brings, it creates eternity. The world's important. It makes every tree, every flower important because of what it connects to, what it involves, what it facilitates, what it creates. Every nursing home, every restaurant is so important. But don't forget the nekuda shakol bar l'chvayday. Don't forget the li. Don't forget. So I think it might. Is it possible that we're actually talking to a chasna and kala when we look at the event that's all designed for the chasna and kala? Is it perhaps shaykh to say Shakol Bar L'Chvayda is the deepest message to the Chasna and Kala? In looking at the wedding that's made for him and all the dramatics and all the things, we say Chasna and Kala Shakol Bar L'Chvayda. I don't know, maybe my sons would tell me that you're being too, like, stop teaching, Kalish. A person's always busy teaching. Like, be quiet teaching. It's just true. So you're saying a pshat, we're doing it to teach. Stop it. We're not doing it to teach. It's true. And if that teaches, wonderful. But it's true. So I grapple with that. I grapple to say it's teaching the Chasna and Kala. Maybe that's my warped mind. It's too unnatural. Stop teaching anybody. It could be just, of course, that at a wedding, at a gathering, that's what we would do. And if that happens to teach a Chasna and Kala, that's wonderful. I grapple with that. It might be teaching them. I don't know. It's for sure true what you're supposed to do. And a Chasna and Kala would be very, very worthwhile to pay heed. Do you have to say Chazal did it to teach? I don't know. You don't need that. It's a truth. That truth teaches. Every truth teaches. So it's cool at a chasna, the Chasna and Kala, whether Chazal made the takana to teach. Why would I even say that? If it's true, it's true. You don't need to teach. It's just true. So a Chasna and Kala are about to build, and there's going to be a lot of magnificent structure to come. It would be kedai to pay heed to their very wedding, when there's a beautiful gathering and so much pomp and fare. Musicians, a band is set up, and a kol bar l'chvayde. What does the Yid see? You see Kvayid Shamayim, people plugged into giving. Now the job of each one, the job of the band member, there'll be so much chaos to sing it. I'm sure it's challenging. Sing nightly at a wedding. There'd be so much chaos if a person, and it's possible to plug into that. He's going and he's going to bring simcha. It's possible to plug in, it will change how you behave. Your whole energy would change. If the musician would plug in, the man sings at wedding, his soul is aflame. If he could touch to his soul, if he could tap in and remember, and his body would work there, you would see very much chiyus and energy. That's gula itself. Kol mishiyesh b'deya ki limna beis hamishpiyam. That's gula itself. That which is hidden, that which is all over. That room was all Kiddush Shamayim. It's amazing to me how much gullus is. People see and they say, people are spending so much on bands today. That's gullus. You just described gullus. That's gullus itself. Instead of seeing it, where's halacha says, see shakol bar l'chvayda, Kiddush Shamayim. And you're busy seeing distance. That's not like a cause of gullus. That is gullus. It defines gullus. There was a room full of kol bar l'chvayda. If there are more musicians, you get a chance to see more people doing a kol bar l'chvayda. People tapped in. There are more people playing better music for a Chasna Kala. You should be so busy. I haven't found any of the Sheva brachas. That's some bracha, something speaking about people should stop being wasteful. We have to notice what's going on. Have better eyes. Have an ayin tov. You're not seeing the picture here. If you have an ayin tov, you'll walk in. You'll be nishtaimim of people shakol bar l'chvayde. Now the job of all of us in Geula is a world that we all tap in. The mivarach says akol bar l'chvayde is the photographer thinking akol bar l'chvayde. And his soul is like wants this. Can you imagine the guy goes to work to run his rehab? His soul is feeling something. The soul is there. Is he in touch with that? He could get in touch with that, and you would see a chiyus. You would see when people get in touch like that, they have a fire to their activities. That's a world of geula. There's energy. There's passion. There's people on fire. I was talking to my son Maishi about the Oid Yeshvu song, that beautiful prophecy, that in the Rechayvais Yerushalayim are old people and young people. What is it? What it means? Maishi was saying over Maishi Shapiro's son, I believe, that what it means, the Oid Yeshvu is Kenas Berchayvais, people in the street. So certainly Eretz Yisrael built up a robust street, but he said the whole street is a safe place. The Rechaim said, keep your kids off the street. Dangerous out there. He said elders, old people on the street, youngsters. Could you imagine that the whole street is infused with Kvayt Shemayim? That's Gula. Everybody's like busy with the same things. The streets are robust and safe. You send your kids, little kids, Yeladim Yelos Mesachikim are playing out in the street. Today it's the street. It's not our the people not having the values, not living Kvayt Shemayim. The airport should be a robust place. If every stand is in touch, each guy serving a milkshake is like providing. Each person flying a plane is transporting. Each flight attendant is kid. It's just like Hashem's. This whole place is just one Kvayt Shemayim, and it should be felt. There's a Simchas Achayim. There's like a fire of everybody. The cop comes by, and that tzaddik who's just busy keeping people safe, and everybody's like just a kol bar l'chvayday world where the kids are playing, the old people going. The street is robust. There's like a chiyus on the rechav is like fiery and beautiful and gorgeous. The beautiful picture of Geula where Li Lishmi lives, where there's intention and there's focus. Did I say the Pshat right? Was it Rabbi Shapiro's son you told me? Beautiful picture, beautiful vision. That's a tzipisa Yeshua that we could start tapping in a little bit. Who wouldn't be jealous? Who wouldn't be jealous of the guy running the ATVs? So beautiful, so cool. If you haven't gone on the ATVs yet, let's go. Be safe. Don't drive. Those machines are lebedik. You could be safe. Do it safely. Drive safely. But if you're careful, don't do no risk taking. You drive them safe. It's a safe experience. A guy provides daily 5 at a shot and makes them geschmack. You come with that. It's tiring. You're shaking up a little. You bounce around. 5 people smiling, 45 minutes, bang, and the next group smiles. If there's a little intention, there's a guy blows up a machine that people slide down and bond over. Arya, if you could start, Oid Yeshvu, please. Zekeinem, Zkeines, Berchas Yerushalayim. Yerushalayim, Nachama, Hayay, Zekeinem, Yerushalayim, Zekeinem, Yesh mi shantai v'yalai Meirai yamin Yesh mi shantai v'yalai Rav Gustman Zatzal had survived the Holocaust, and he saw tremendous destruction. He saw the annihilation of of so much of the Jewish people. And after he was in Eretz Yisrael, and he would watch the Israeli Day Parade, and he would be full of good feelings of Jewish boys and girls, proud, healthy, enjoying each other. He would sit there with massive nachas. He'd watch the parade, and he would be glowing just thinking about Jewish boys and girls, happy and proud and besimcha. That's geula, Rabbi say. Eyes like that are geula. Eyes like that see pnimius hadavar of people together, enjoying. They're seeing hakol bar l'chvaydai. Galus is, and what causes people to go further from truth is to see issues, and to see you're seeing shallow, you're not seeing pnimius. That's Galus itself. He had such geuladik vision to see, and only because he tasted such extremes of Galus was he able to have gula eyes. Kol misabel al Yerushalayim zeichev rei b'nechmasa. And he was able to see in a scene, he saw something profound and exciting. Of course, because of what he saw, so the boys hang with the boys. Gufa, because he saw something beautiful, puts the boys with the boys and the girls with the girls. But he was able to see, he saw the pnimius hadavar of what's going on. Pnimius stika eyes of seeing something beautiful and magnificent, what was happening. I can imagine if two people would watch Aliyah L'Regel. And Aliyah L'Regel, there was Bahab after. There could, a big crowd. Not everything could be perfect. Sometimes there's mingling. It's a big crowds, and I'm not promoting mingling. But the good eyes says, "Ma yafe pamayich b'manalayich." How beautiful, Klal Yisrael, are your footsteps. Sees Hakol Bar L'Chvaydai, the Kiddush Shamayim, that the soul, and taps into that. So my bracha to us all in our own lives, tap into the pnimius hadavar. When you're serving ice cream, you yitzi, the way you're serving a frankfurter, give the yid pick out a good frank in there, look for the right one, but spend the time, look for the good frank, and hand the guy the right frank that fits for him. Have an excellent day.